one thing that I seem to have questioned more than anything else is, when can I actually afford to retire? And I think it's always been a question that we've answered, having done this job for nearly 2 decades, it's quite amazing how many times sort of people go, can I actually afford to retire?
Mm.
And I think when there's sort of all these headlines that inflation's higher and things like that, it becomes far more permanent in people's minds that they need to know if they can afford to retire. How do you typically tackle those questions with your clients?
Firstly, you've got to really understand the whole situation that the client's currently living in. You've got to understand their whole financial situation and factor in exactly what assets and capital might be utilized towards meeting their financial income requirements in retirement. If you miss areas out, your planning can fall short because you're not fully aware of the whole picture. If you're very honest and you've got a good relationship with your financial advisor and they're aware of your whole situation, then your planning is that much easier because we are fully aware of the picture and we can factor that into our advice process.
Mm.
So one of the things that I do with my clients is, well, firstly, we've got to establish exactly what their target income might be.
Mm.
And typically we'll obviously allow for inflation in that, and on an ongoing basis also to make sure that the financial plan has longevity and it can provide that level of income for the rest of their lives.
Mm.
So one of the tools that we use to great effect to help visualize that for the client is cash flow forecasting. So that allows us to kind of show in graphical terms or tabular form. It depends what the clients want, how they wish to see it, but it can help illustrate whether somebody is in fact able to afford to retire or not. And if they are, that income that they're targeting will be able to be sustained for the rest of their life. But even in the situations where that might not, perhaps that's a utopia position, obviously, but it also allows us to offer advice in the areas where perhaps the planning might fall short in certain areas. So we can factor in how much more they might need to pay in to be able to get to that position that they want to be in when they come to retire. We can also stress test scenarios, so we can build in things like a market crash and how that might have an effect on the underlying capital that's being utilized to provide these income sources. So that's a very, very powerful tool at the moment. I think in times of uncertainty and rising costs at the moment, if we can help to show a client in a visual format that actually, yes, you're able to retire, or this is what you need to be able to do to get to where you want to be, it's a very, very powerful tool, and it provides a substantial peace of mind to my clients, certainly.